No, you're sitting up straight.
This is how my posture should be.
Dude, my posture is so bad.
Dude, do you ever have like really bad posture for a long time and then you like look up if you have like scoliosis?
I'm currently at that point where I'm like, have I ruined my life?
I don't want my back, like, I know that you can technically like fix your posture, but like I don't want my back to be like completely like hunchback for the rest of my life. Because if it's like that for the rest of my life, I'm gonna look like that fucking. Do you remember that one photo where it's like, this is what all like desk job workers will look like in the year like 2050? It was like that guy with like the fucking fat head and he's like leaned over like that. That's gonna be me in like 2 years.
The biggest wake up call I ever got was when in Amsterdam, Tommy Innit sat down next to me and was like, "Hey, we both have fucked up postures."
Oh my god.
I was like, "Oh, do we? Do we really?" I didn't know. So I've been working on it, but like I don't know. Like I Google it like twice a day. I'm like, is this permanent? And they always say, like, no, it's not. Like you can fix it. You just have to do it. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't do anything. So
I just bookmark like 15 million TikToks where it's like some old dude being like, this is how you fix your posture. And it's like, you got to stretch your arms out all the way to the back. And then you got to do this like 15 times a day. And I'm like, okay. And then I just never do it. So then I'm like, okay, it's going to be like this forever.
Yeah.
I'll put in the effort.
I mean, the worst part are the chiropractors, that fake practice.
I need a guy to get a chiseled thing and like,
oh no, not that.
Get the ball and the hammer and do it on my neck.
Oh,
Pop it out.
Oh no. I would, if any sort of man tried to do that to me, I would kill them.
Well, how so? You would take it on them? You'd do it back?
Yeah, I would take the hammer out of their hand and like chase after them.
Smash their head over with it. You'd probably kill them.
Literally. Probably, honestly. It's just like it seems very triggering to me, the idea of me having like some kind of pulp on my neck and then a man hitting it with a hammer to fix it. That doesn't really.
Those videos are insane. I literally have like had tears in my eyes watching some of them just because how insane it is. The way that like it literally feels like they're gonna like fucking hammer in like some kind of nail, and they do this to like some guy's neck on like the fucking bare bone, and they just like fucking wail on it.
Have you seen them do it to like dogs? Not with the hammer, but just like chiropractor stuff.
They like twist it and the dog like freaks out.
Yeah, it's like why? What is there even a reason why you're doing this, or are you just doing this because you're a chiropractor and you have this impulse to just twist everybody that you see?
They just want to pop the dog. They don't want to make that dog go.
I don't like chiropractors. Sorry to any chiropractors that are listening. I just don't really care for you.
Damn.
Welcome back to COOLDOG. Today is December.
It is. I cannot believe it's actually about to be the end of the year, dude.
It is. And you know what end of the year means? It means Christmas is approaching, which means merchandise is still available at yolking.net. This hoodie, in fact, you can go purchase right now.
Buy the hoodie. It's super comfortable. I've worn it every day. I love it. It's my favorite hoodie ever. And I think you all would love it too.
Yeah. And it's the stock is limited. So, you snooze, you lose. Because I don't like, this hoodie's already been dropped like 2 or 3 times, and I don't really see it happening again. So go get it while you can. Get
it now, or you can get it secondhand on Grailed or Depop, because the reseller market for it is crazy.
I saw someone actually reselling a Yolk hoodie on Depop, or someone posted a picture of it. It was already sold. Actually, it wasn't even.
Damn.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like they didn't mark it up; they marked it down.
Oh, was it like $5? It
was actually $40, which is impressive.
Damn!
It sold for $40. Yeah,
that's pretty good. You got a hype beast market out there.
I wish I was like legally able to sue that person to get a cut of the $40.
This like some random like fucking 18-year-old girl that's just like, I'm gonna sell this hoodie, and you're like, give me $20. Hand it over.
Would love to enter an era where I launch lawsuits against my viewers.
What would you sue them for? Like emotional damage?
I mean, most of them probably defamation. Like a lot of them, legally speaking, some of the things that I've read in the Twitch chats and the YouTube comments, I probably could have a case against some of them.
For like what? Like your age? Like could you actually sue somebody for like saying that you're 32 years old? Would there be a case in that?
If it I guess I'm not a lawyer, so I'm kind of talking out my ass, but I think the way it works is if it like causes you damage in some way, you know, if it like hurts my career, if it hurts my profit in some way, that's usually like, you know, how it's, I guess, measured in that sense, because I don't think it would really cause any emotional damage to me. But yeah, no. If it were to hurt my career, I'd be able to get a pretty good bag off that, I think.
So if somebody like had a video of you like that featured you and it said in the caption like this man is 32 years old and it like went super viral and like got 2 million views and like everyone was talking about it, like you could be like, this is fucked up, this hurts me emotionally and it hurts my brand, and then be like, fuck you.
People don't want to watch me because they think I'm like a 32-year-old man who keeps making really weird jokes, you know.
Yeah,
like I think a lot of my behavior wouldn't be as acceptable if I actually was in my 30s.
Like so, the moaning,
the like taking my shirt off, the like showing my feet. Like if I was 32, it would be a little bit creepy, I think.
Like, can you imagine like Martin in the Littlewood doing shit like that? Like, isn't he 32? I feel like he's that old.
I have no idea how old he is.
In the Littlewood.
I was, you know, I was gonna just say, yeah, I think he is, but like I realized like that's just me talking out of my ass. Like I just love to say things when I don't even know if it's true.
He's probably gonna sue me if he's not 32.
Yeah, he's listening.
Dude, what the hell? I hit it on the nail. He is 32. What the fuck? Yeah, I didn't even. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of like guessed on it, but he's actually like exactly 32.
Well, that's good. That's good on you for getting that right. That's impressive.
And the Littlewood is 32.
I feel proud to all the millions of Littlewood viewers listening to this podcast right now.
We have like a pretty good overlap with the In the Littlewood army.
Army. It's like a battalion at best.
What do you mean? The Yogscast, I mean, that's like their HQ. That's like that might as well be UN, United Nations. Yogscast gathers many.
I guess it would be a good time to give a shout out to Yogscast because they're doing their annual Jingle Jam charity thing, and they raised $1 million in one day. So
oh my god, holy shit!
Yeah,
that's insane.
See, that's the thing that really works out for them as well. Is like they still have like a pretty good base of viewers, and all those people are now like pushing 30, working jobs. A lot of them are probably like in like finance, making like 6 figures a year. And they're like, Lewis, take my money. I want you to have all my money.
I got a bonus for my job, and I'm gonna give it to the Jingle Jam.
They're
Take
pushing
£5.
like 100-hour work weeks to support Lewis and Simon, and I think that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to retiring when all of my viewers go to work in finance.
We need the Yogscast viewers, the Bruce Greene viewers to like join us and like, you know, give us some of the pie. Because the amount of money that Bruce Greene still makes from Twitch is like, if anyone on Twitch were to make that amount of money, I would want it to be Bruce Greene. And the fact that it's him, I'm so happy that he's able to make like $15 million a month from Twitch subs still.
God bless him. God bless that man.
God bless his soul. Love that man.
Yeah, it'd be like way worse if it was like someone that was like unlikable. Then it'd be like a little bit concerning because for anyone that like doesn't know what we're talking about, Bruce Greene was he still is, he didn't die. He is a Twitch streamer who I guess he would average like 400 to 500 viewers, and at his peak I think he had like 25k subs, which means Twitch subs, not YouTube subs. Twitch subs, which means like 25,000 monetary subscriptions.
Insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of money coming in. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, good for him. Although, you know, I don't know. I'm just. It's kind of cool to see this like older generation of creator, you know, and how a lot of them are still. A lot of the genuine ones are still like around, you know, and that's how you can kind of tell like what kind of content people were doing. Because if you're doing genuine, true to self content, I think you maintain like a pretty strong base for a while.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive the way that like a lot of the people in Funhouse like hold on to their audience and like just stick around just because they're like, I mean, I almost just said because everyone from Funhouse is such great people, even though
no.
some people are definitely not good people, but a lot of the people like Funhouse, like old school like gaming video people, like it is really cool to still see them like doing well, especially like Yogscast. The fact that like they're able to raise $1 million in one day is like actually insane. It's just crazy.
A whole $1 million. How's your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was good. I talked to my little cousin about like what YouTubers he watches, and he's in 5th grade and he knows about Speed and Andrew Tate. So I was like, oh,
that's a great setup for him. That's a great foundation for his life.
I was like, that's awesome. I'm like, you should definitely keep watching Andrew Tate. And then he did the speed dance. He did like the little drop down thing. And I was like, what the hell? He was like, I'm like, do that again. What the hell did you just do? And he was like, I'm not doing that again. And I was like, okay, well, interesting. But it was a really good Thanksgiving. What about you? What'd you do for your little? I know you don't. I mean, did you do anything? You do a little feast?
I did nothing.
No.
I did absolutely. It was just another day for me. I think I went live at one point. Actually, I don't even know if I went live. I don't remember at all. Maybe I didn't even exist on that day for some reason. Like maybe like I was sucked into some kind of void and I disappeared for 2 days without even realizing. And then I woke up the next day not realizing that I had slept for a whole day.
I mean, that could happen. I mean, it could have been just like a filler episode in the Aksually vlogs.
I mean, I guess I probably... When was Thanksgiving?
Like 2 Thursdays ago would have been.
I think so. No, I can't remember that far back. Like, when I'm in this like era of just kind of working and like sitting in my house, I develop like the shortest term memory of all time.
Yeah, when I was back home, I fucking was like losing my mind because I had a super bad cold for like the entirety of that week, and I'm still kind of dealing with it now. Like it's not as bad as it used to be, but it got pretty bad when I was flying home. When like that was the scariest because I was like texting my parents and like everyone I knew. I was like, guys, I just got off the first flight I was on, and I think I just lost my hearing in both ears because I had like really bad sinus problems when I was on the flight. Like, I mean, I had cold and like it was pretty like I was pretty fine, but it was just like up here and like all the sinus areas, like it was just super congested and had like a lot of sinus pressure. And so then I was like on the plane from Kentucky to Atlanta because I had a layover in Atlanta. And out of nowhere, in the middle of me like watching some movie, like my ears started to like almost like kind of fizzle where I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, oh, my ears are popping. Like, this is fine. Whatever. Like, my ears pop all the time on a flight. That's whatever. But then I had this insane pressure, like, behind my eye, like, right here on the corner of my eye. And it was super sharp. And I thought for, like, a good second, I was like, my eye could just, like, pop out of my head. And, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Because, like, when I was a little kid, that used to be, like, an actual fear of mine. For some reason, I was, like, super fearful of the fact that, like, what happens if like my eyeball just pops out and like I have to like watch my eye like droop out? But
have you seen like what eyes look like they're like if you were to take them out of your head?
Yeah,
how they're kind of like on these like icicles.
It is. I don't like it. I don't like that thought at all. It scares me.
No, yeah. I had the same thing happen when I flew back from the UK a year ago, where I had like similar sinus problems, and I remember holding my head on the plane and thinking, I just can't die on this plane right now. Like I literally in my head I was like, if I'm going to die, I'd rather it be when I get home, because dying on an airplane is just like, it's like a whole scene.
It's embarrassing.
And it's like if I die mid-air and people notice, they'll probably have to like land in like Brussels or some shit in Belgium. And it's like then what? Like what are they gonna do with my body? You know, they're just gonna leave my body in Belgium? Like
they have a proper burial for you in Belgium. Actually,
yeah,
body
exactly.
buried in Belgium, Brussels.
So
that'd be insane.
It's I think it's the same reason why, like, if you have an ear infection, they recommend not to fly, because it just causes a lot of pressure and problems, which is just, I don't know, it's scary because it really does feel like something's about to blow.
Yeah, because what happened with me was it went from my ear to like my eye, and then like randomly it just went kind of like that in my ear, and I was like, oh, like did something like fall in my ear? But then I got off the plane and I took off my AirPods, and it didn't change in volume at all. So it just felt like I had AirPods in, and my volume was at like 50%. My hearing was at like 50%, and like I was freaking out. I was like, is this going to be permanent? Like, is this how I'm about to hear life for the rest of my life? Like, this is no way. Like, this just happened because I flew with a cold once. So then I was like freaking out, and I was like looking up everything to do, and I was like keep trying to like pop my ears, and it wouldn't pop. So I was like freaking out. I'm like, okay, it's done for. Like, I just ruptured my ears, and I have another flight. Like, should I even go on that flight? And I was like freaking out. And my mom's like, I think you should just get some gum and like get some Tylenol, and then you'll be fine. And then
get some gum.
Get some gum, because you're like, that's something that you do to like pop your ears. But I was telling her, I'm like, I have been like opening my mouth like like that, and like trying to like pop my ear, and it wasn't doing it at all. Like, it wasn't giving any noise, and it wasn't like any signs were like pointing to me being able to like pop it. So then I was like, I don't know if that's even going to work, but like, sure, whatever. And I took the medicine, and then when I got home, my hearing was like awful. Nick picked me up, and I was like, what are you saying? Like, I had to like fucking scream because I really could not fucking hear him at all. And
well, the good thing with Nick is you'll be able to hear the music he plays, because he always turns it up. He always puts it to the max.
I could hear all of his music very well. But when I got home, I literally like, he like said something from like the kitchen, and I was like maybe 10 feet away from him, and I literally could not hear what he said. And I was like, what did he say? He's like, oh my God, your hearing really is bad. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is like my worst nightmare. But I woke up the next day and my hearing was like better, and every single day it's gotten better. But the first like fucking 4 hours I was waiting in that airport with just like blasted ears, I was so scared. Do not fly with a cold.
This is like a little bit unrelated, but I'm just curious. What's the Thanksgiving plate look like at the Hooverr family function?
See, the thing is with me, right, is I am a picky eater. It's something that like I have been working on my entire life. I have like terrible, like weird anxiety with food. It's not like the fact that I don't exactly like food. I just have weird anxiety, so I just eat like the fucking chicken that we have. But if you did go to Nana and Boompa's for Thanksgiving, it would be like green beans, mashed potatoes, stuffing, turkey, cranberry sauce, whatever the fuck that shit called. I don't know. Some people get it. What else is there? There's some other
mac and
shit.
Cheese.
I don't know. I think there might have been some mac and cheese. I can't remember. Turkey, obviously, but I mean, it's just like classic traditional Thanksgiving shit. We don't do anything like crazy, but then afterwards, if you want a dessert, you could get some chocolate or pecan pie, because Nana loves to make pie, and everyone eats it all up.
I love a good pie. Although the American pies I've never really had like an American type of pie. I've only had like an apple pie in Estonia is, I think, a little bit different to what an apple pie in America is. Like,
really?
It's kind of the same idea, but I don't know how different it is besides the fact that they look completely different. I think they might taste similar. I mean, realistically, they should. It's a fucking apple pie. Like,
yeah, how
different can it be, right? But they do look pretty different, because I don't know, like you guys in America, you love those like little circular pies, right? Or is that just like an offensive stereotype?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know what other kind of pie I would even think of besides like a circular pie.
I see, like none of the pies here are like that.
Really?
They're
like square?
Yeah, I guess they would be a little bit more square. I guess they would fit like kind of like a rectangular baking thing, you know?
Oh my God, yeah, you're right. I'm like looking it up right now. That's crazy.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess that like makes the whole idea of hitting someone in the face with a pie a lot less satisfying, because it being a circle, like a round object,
fits your face completely.
Is it fits your face, and it's easier to hold. I think easier to hold than like a rectangle. Although I did see Steve Aoki throw like this rectangular cake into his audience at a concert, and it like it hit someone in a wheelchair.
Oh my god!
It hit someone like. It didn't hit anybody else. There was like thousands of people in this crowd, and he just threw it in there, and the only person it hit was this dude in a wheelchair. Which is the second time that someone in a wheelchair has been violated in a concert audience in the recent weeks, because Matt Watson did a stage dive at a concert and ended up stage diving on someone that was in a wheelchair. So
oh my god. When was this? Like, what concert was it at?
I don't remember which one it was. I think it was one of his like later ones. But I saw a video of it.
Oh my god.
And then when the Steve Aoki thing happened, he tweeted about it, which he was supposed to be on this week, but scheduling conflicts. So I'm hoping to get him on this month, but I don't know. December's a hard month to really plan anything, man. There's just so much going on all the time.
No, for real. I've been looking at like the amount of shit I have to do in like the next month or so, and it's like insane. Like today I've done like I'm gonna do 4 videos today, which is like insane for me, because I literally don't do anything usually. I usually just sit on my ass and like play Roblox and then listen to fucking, I don't know, Metro Boomin's new album.
Yeah, but it's fun. I guess it's fun to be busy.
It is. I
makes you feel good about yourself.
Exactly. It's like I kind of missed like back in the day YouTube when like I would actually treat this like a job, and I actually like have to like set up times for stuff, and it's like, I don't know, it's kind of fun like being on my ass and working again.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I feel that. I've just recently been, I guess like my life has just recently been like working and then watching like TV shows and YouTube videos. That's pretty much like what my life has been, and it's enjoyable to an extent for sure. Like I enjoy doing deep dives on YouTube and finding. I found like my favorite niche is just like people that are like 40 plus showcasing their hobbies, like Steve Wallace, stealth camper. I found that like bicycle guy that like went through Kentucky that I sent you a bunch of videos of, and then my recent interest has been this old. He's a very old gentleman, and I don't put that lightly. Like he made a video where he was like talking about how he's old. He's not even in the baby boomer generation. Like he was born before that.
What the hell? How old is he? Like 98?
I would look it up, but I've completely like forgotten his name, which is just really embarrassing because I've been watching him like all day, every day for the last 2 days. But he's like he lives in Tennessee, and he used to be an actor back in like the 80s. Like he was on this like show back in the 80s. And a lot of his videos, they're very sweet. He just makes some kind of food, and he sits there, and sometimes in his videos he says like, "Oh, thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming to visit me."
Oh, that's sweet.
It's very sweet. But his videos kind of he edits them in like this really surreal way where sometimes you think like the video is glitching out or like breaking, but then you realize he's kind of like a genius, and he's edited it. But the reason why I'm talking about it is because it's made me realize like I really should talk to like the old people in my life more, because they're kind of interesting to listen to, you know, because a lot of them are like the time that they lived in was just so different to anything today, and it's interesting to like think about how what kind of an effect it had on them, you know. I think a lot of them weren't.
I was just gonna say no, I wasn't gonna say anything important. I was gonna say it's crazy that they didn't live with an iPhone.
Yeah, that is true. They didn't live with an iPhone. They didn't I heard that they didn't even have the internet.
What?
I heard something about that, which is just a little bit bizarre.
That is actually kind of crazy. Like, unironically, it is like, as much as I like to joke about the fact I'm like, oh, you didn't live with internet, like it's almost like it is just insane the fact that like if we just like lost all technology right now, like a lot of people would just like have no clue what to do. And I'd be like one of the people included where like I don't know how to drive without a fucking like GPS on my phone, or like I don't know how to do like communicate or like do anything else besides like what's on my phone. And it's like at one point like we could just have like I remember seeing videos where like if we have like a solar flare and like all the fucking like shit goes out, like all of our technology goes out, then like what would happen? And I'm like, oh, if that happens, like it's just over. Like it's just okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely raise an interesting scenario in the sense of, you know, I'd probably have to like write you a letter and say like, I guess COOLDOG's over.
we do fucking COOLDOG over like pigeon air. We have like pigeons literally sending fucking messages back and forth from Estonia to
a fucking
America.
mailboat going across the Atlantic Ocean for like 2 weeks.
God, like it's insane.
That's like the only way. And I'd probably, I mean, realistically speaking, if all internet were to go out, I'd just like move to Australia or some shit and just like live my life on a farm, just like.
That's a nice image.
Herding, not herding, but you know, herding like a group of animals.
I'd be herding. I'm not gonna lie, like I would just be hurting if like all technology went out. I definitely could see like a life of like maybe being a farm boy too, because I saw this TikTok of this guy, this like old 60 like 8-year-old dude who has this like really big ox. It's like this huge ox. It's like maybe like 6 feet tall or some shit, and it's like huge compared to this guy. You know, it's like tiny compared to him. And I was like, honestly, like it would be kind of cool to have like my own cow or like my own ox. And I just like kind of have it, not to like make any like money off of it, but like just to have it and like raise it, and, you know, just kind of have it around. It'd be kind of cool.
No, yeah, and those animals, like they do grow a real affinity to you know. Mm-hmm. It's a very real connection. Like when I had like sheep and goats and stuff, like they remember you. They have people that they like, they have people that they dislike, and they're in a lot of ways they're like dogs. Like they love to play. They love pets.
I was gonna say, I'm like, when I saw the video of the ox, I was like, this is like a really big dog. Like he was like scratching it on its head, and it was like kind of like leaning in, and like it was loving the scratching. And I was like, this is like a huge dog. Like I just love like a huge dog that's like too big for it to like even possibly fit in the house. But like I want one.
Yeah. The goat I used to have, he loved just like walking up to me, and like he loved getting cuddles. He was very big on cuddles.
Aww.
The only thing about goats that is kind of frustrating is that when they get into a playful mood, that just means that they just want to like run into you head first over and over again.
Yeah.
And they're gonna like, they try to ambush you a bunch. So it's a little bit something to be aware of, I guess.
Yeah. I remember one time we went to this like restaurant that had like this little thing that like, it was like this like conveyor belt thing that like you could put corn in, and then you could like steer it, or like you could like wind it up, and it would like deliver the corn to the top of like this tower and pour down the corn for the goats. But then these goats like got really like hyped that like people were giving it corn, and they started like running around the whole fucking place, and it got its head stuck in the fence. So then my dad and his friend had to hop the fence and like rip this goat's head out because it was just like stuck and like wasn't able to move. It was crazy.
Yeah, they're also the kind of animals where they'll just eat. They'll eat if there's food in front of them. Like they don't have a moment of like, I'm full now. There was like, it's like a genuine thing on sheep farms, for example, where there's a lot of stories of sheep kind of breaking into the little oat room with all the food, and they just break into the bag and they just eat until they die. Basically.
Oh my god. Yeah. Jesus,
that's like a thing that we had to be weary of.
Did it happen ever?
No, not to us, but there was a couple of times where like they got access to some food, and you could tell like, oh yeah, you're like big now. You're like, you got a lot in your stomach right now.
You're plump. That is insane. I did not know they could fucking just eat till they die.
Yeah, they're kind of stupid. They're I wouldn't really describe them as intelligent sometimes. They definitely are conscious, but not of the right things.
None of the politics in the world. They're not conscious of like what's going on in the world.
No, sure. Yeah, definitely not. No, definitely a little bit on the ignorant side of things. If you had to like, if a man came to you and put a gun to your head and said, you need to adopt 3 species of animal right now and live with them, what species would you pick?
Like, is it like any species of animal ever? Like, could I just say like dog, cat, fucking pigeon?
Theoretically, you could say T-Rex if you want.
Oh, dude, if I was in 4th grade, I'd fucking definitely say some kind of dinosaur. Mm-hmm. God, that's actually a good question. I feel like the first thing that popped into my brain, and it's also another one of those TikToks I saw, that I was like, this would be a kind of like a cool pet to have. Like if I had like a farm, would be a donkey. Mm-hmm. I think it would be kind of fun to have a donkey, like a pet donkey to just like walk around and then do like like it did that whole shit. Donkey would be up there. I feel like a capybara could be cool. I feel like that'd be like a chill animal to have. It's kind of like a big guinea pig. It's like the biggest rodent ever or whatever. And then maybe I don't know. Maybe like an otter.
I found out about this like really cool rodent kind of animal that lives in Australia. It's called quokka.
Oh my god! I know exactly what you're talking about. Like the one that like smiles and like it poops in squares.
I didn't know that part. That's actually fascinating.
I think they poop in squares. Quokka.
They seem very, very cute.
No, they're so cute. And like, it's wombats. Wombats poop in squares. Which is like really weird. But like, I just remember that from something. But the quokka is like, it's like such a cute little baby.
No, it is.
It's just always smiling and it's always just happy.
Exactly. They're everywhere. Never depressed. Actually, probably are depressed sometimes. The fact that animals can get depressed is just, it's very upsetting to hear because it means that there's no escape. Even if I were to turn into an animal tomorrow, I'd probably still find a way to be depressed.
That'd be so sad if like you die and you become like a fucking fly and you become depressed. Like the most like depressing animal ever. Because then you're depressed for like fucking 5 minutes, but then that's your entire life. You're just depressed your entire life and then you fucking die as a fly. Do you ever think about that?
Fucking idiots.
Do you ever think about like the odds of like what you spawn in as next if like there's another life? Like if you die today and it's like, okay, you're going to be a new life. It's not guaranteed that you're a human. You could just be like a fucking like quokka. You could be a quokka.
I would be I'd be a blacksmith in the 1300s.
Oh, you'd go in the you'd go in the past. you would go in the past and be a blacksmith.
Somehow I would respawn in the past.
That would actually be insane if that could happen. You could go back in time and spawn in again.
I was a big believer of reincarnation when I was like 7 years old. I studied it deeply and I tried to live my life in a way that would bless me with a more fortunate reincarnation in my next life. But then I kind of moved on from that idea because I was like, I'm not focusing on my own life enough. These are just some of the thoughts I had at 8 years old.
yeah, you're enjoying a nice cigarette, like pondering life and reading like Nietzsche and fucking philosophy books about like what is life and like what happens after we die.
Yeah. You know, I was actually thinking about this earlier when I brought up dinosaurs. I am so fucking glad they're dead. Like, Jesus Christ.
But
Thank fuck.
Isn't it crazy like chickens are like kind of descendants of dinosaurs? And it makes sense when you look at them.
Yeah, true.
They're just gross.
There's a couple motherfuckers that's like, okay, you got some genetics related, like you. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know, but I'm just so glad. Like, I hope when the meteorite hit, they just like felt pain. Like, I hope it was terrible for them.
Oh my god. Well, I get that like it's good that the dinosaurs are dead, but like you really just wanted them, like you wanted to feel it all.
Well, the thing is that like if they were here they'd be literally like making it their goal to make our life a living hell. So like,
yeah,
even though like we never really interacted, I know that it just wouldn't be a good relationship, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm not going to be cordial with them because I just I have no interest in that. Like they would definitely like murder my whole family. So yeah, I hope they fucking burned. I hope they burned, and I hope it was really painful.
I can't believe like I get like, yeah, you're not wrong. Like that is the thing, is like you're not wrong by any means. So, like if they were alive, it'd be like a huge fucking problem. I mean, like look at Jurassic World and Jurassic Park. Like it would be that where like we fucking get like eaten by like a T-Rex every single day.
No,
like,
literally. And the U.S. military would try to like drone strike them, but they would just grab the drone out of the air and eat it.
No,
like,
the fucking U.S. military, the U.S. military would start growing dinosaurs. We would have fucking dinosaurs in the army. We'd go to fucking overseas with like fucking T-Rexes and pterodactyls instead of like fighter jets.
It'd probably be a thing in like Australia that like, oh, there's a T-Rex attack on the city.
Yeah. But then what if guys, oh my god, wait, then Elon Musk could really be the real life Iron Man. He could save us.
He would too. That would be one of his fucking stupid bullshit things where he's like, guys, we're at SpaceX, we're working on an anti-T-Rex missile, okay? And he's live tweeting it. And they're all like, oh my god.
Oh, T-Rex. We're gonna get rid of him.
And then like the U.S. military would be like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. And then he's going to do that thing where he did, I'll never forget how those like kids in the cave in Thailand.
Oh my God.
Like, how that he tried to like make a submarine, and then that one guy that was actually like trying to save the kids on ground zero at Thailand was like, yeah, that's not going to work. And he was like, oh, you're a pedophile.
Yeah, like that is an insane fucking thing to just shout at somebody because they said your idea wasn't going to work. Like, holy shit. He's insane.
I can't believe he just did that. He did that and then like just moved on. Like it was the most like insane thing I've ever. We got to stop bringing up that. We can't talk about that man on the podcast anymore. It's just it gets me every time, man. Like I could talk about him for hours every day. I hate him so much.
The Elon Musk stunlock.
No, literally. Yeah, but fuck dinosaurs. What's a species you would like to see eradicated from the planet?
Oh, eradicated from the planet. God. Now, if I was really based, it'd be like the human race. Like we got to get rid of us because we are the only threat to the world. We are the biggest threat.
We are kind of like the worms.
Exactly. We think like, oh, fucking mosquitoes are the biggest problem in the world. We are the biggest problem, and I would probably say like maybe it would be like ants. Like why the fuck do I need an ant crawling in my?
I mean, they're kind of chill though. Like they got a colony and stuff. Like they got like society. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like it's just the ones that like there's like quadrillions of. You know what I mean? Like they like are such an inconvenient to my life. Where like if ants like invaded my house, and like I have to fucking get rid of ants. I have to I have to like find every single one of them and like kill them all, and like they have to dispose of all of them, and it's like this is a whole problem. Maybe also probably mosquitoes, but then like there's gonna be some like fucking TikTok nerd where it's like, well, actually mosquitoes do a lot for the world, and if we got no mosquitoes, then blah 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 would happen. And I'd be like, shut up, I don't care. We don't live in that world, so I don't care.
I feel like. See, I would say that about snakes. I'm kind of like.
I was gonna say, I was literally thinking, like, would you say snakes?
I think yesterday I realized I am completely over them. Like I'm like not over my phobia, but I'm over them existing. Like I saw this TikTok on my For You page where this guy was like, yeah, so I just woke up and I looked to my bedside and there's just like an old snake skin at my bedside. So I'm thinking, is there a snake in my house? And then he goes to like, he shows behind his little like drawer thing. And there's just a snake behind there, like this huge snake. Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, I was this close to having a full-blown panic attack. Like I thought I wasn't like that afraid anymore, but I was sitting in my bedroom in the darkness and I literally like I had to put my phone down, and I started like my hands started to shake. Like it was
Oh my
bad.
God.
It was like genuinely so terrifying because all I could think of was like, dude, there could be like 2 snakes in my bed right now. There could be snakes everywhere.
Snakes on the plane.
Exactly, dude. That movie, I watched it for some reason like a few years ago, and it was so hard to watch.
I forget what even happens. Like, did they even get the snakes off the plane? Like, what happens in that fucking movie? I've never seen it.
All I remember is that there's a scene where a couple goes in the bathroom to have sex.
Oh, frisky.
And you get to see boobs, and then a snake comes down from the ceiling and like bites the boobs. I think I don't know if I think it bites the boobs.
That's awesome.
And then they die.
Oh,
and then
that's not.
I don't even know at this point if I'm like telling the truth, but I swear to God, there's like a part where the flight attendant walks past the bathroom and like they're screaming in there because there's a snake.
Oh my
and
God.
They think that it's just because they're having like the time of their life in there. And like the flight attendant makes some kind of comment. I need to rewatch it. What a great watch.
Snakes on a plane watch party. Needs to happen.
You need to watch White Lotus is what you need to watch.
I actually do need to watch White Lotus. It's been all over my fucking TikTok now, and I hear the like the fucking intro for every like 16 videos I watch on TikTok. It's like
the intro is so good.
It's like I'm not gonna lie, like something about the intro kind of like freaks me out. Like
it is.
It's like freaky. Unnerving. It's like I don't like how like weird of a fucking intro that is. Like it doesn't feel like an intro at all. It feels like it'd be like some fucking Rainforest Cafe music.
It is. It's the reason why I and this actually contributes to why I love my job is our viewers just love recommending stuff to us. And the reason why I watched it was because a bunch of my viewers just started saying, hey, you got to check out White Lotus. I think you'd love it. So so one day I was like, you know what? Screw it. I just got to watch it. And I just pretty much caught up immediately. Like I just watched it nonstop. Damn. And I love it. It's so good. I think today, actually, like in a couple hours, the new episode's going to come out.
Ooh.
So I'm excited. I'm actually very excited for that.
I need to watch that. The one show that we've been watching in the house now is Weston's never seen Hunter x Hunter before. And it's like, it's genuinely like my favorite anime. And it was the anime that like I watched and I was like, okay, maybe I am like being a little too harsh on anime. Because I watched it and like fucking, I don't even know. It was like 2020 and like 2020 was like probably the worst year of my life. And so then a lot of the time I remember from 2020 was just me like watching Hunter x Hunter and like catching up from like season 1 to like fucking season 6 and like the span of like a month or two. And so then we have Weston watching it for the first time, but now we're all watching it again and it's so fucking good. It's such a good fucking show. I cannot recommend enough to anybody. You need to watch it, dude. It's so fucking good. It's like an anime where like I think that like even if you're one of those people who are like, I don't know about anime, like watch like 3 episodes of Hunter x Hunter. If you don't like it, I don't fucking care. You know, you don't like it, it's fine. But if you watch the first 3 episodes, you could be like hooked again, like I am, because I am now fully hooked. And the only thing that I look forward to in my life is just watching it again because it's so good.
Damn,
I love it.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm a big when it comes to anime, I'm just a Mob Psycho fan. I like Mob Psycho.
Yeah,
I think
that's a good anime.
Mob Psycho is really good. There's a new season that's just like I think it's like still coming out. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up, but I'll probably watch it eventually. Apparently, it's good. It took them a while to release this new season. Oh, and Hunter x Hunter, it's not too long. I'm looking at the.
It's like
that's cool.
It's like 26 episodes in the first season, and like I would say, I mean, Nick says the fucking Chimera Ant arc is like the best arc, but like I've already talked to like 15 million other people who say that that's probably the one thing that like they didn't like about the show. So I don't really know where people's opinions lie on the show, but I would say personally, like season 1 was such a fun watch when I was first watching it. Like it was like the one thing where like I was like so depressed for a majority of 2020. And when I'd wake up and realize I could watch more episodes of Hunter x Hunter, I was like, let's fucking go. And I would just like sit in my bed and like be like, all right, Gon and Killua. And everyone's like, they're like doing their own thing in life. And I just loved it. It was amazing. You gotta
That's
watch.
amazing. I love stuff like that. I love discovering shows like that.
That was also the same
I think
with
that
me
was
in
me
Succession.
with Malcolm in the Middle for a while.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Succession's great for that.
Yeah, Succession and Malcolm in the Middle, both goated shows. God, I can't wait.
I'm excited for the next season. Yeah, Succession.
Succession. Our brains like synced up. The next season comes out like next month.
Yeah, I think it's like somewhere near spring because I watched the teaser yesterday on HBO Max. I was doing that thing that I always do where I just go through streaming services and looking. I actually put on Napoleon Dynamite because I heard like, oh, everybody loves Napoleon Dynamite. Everyone thinks it's like such a sweet movie. I'm not gonna lie, I got 30 minutes in and I was like, I'm bored. So I turned it off, which is probably offensive to some people, but
that is a bit fucked up.
I don't know. It didn't really capture my attention.
Have you watched Nacho Libre?
Yeah, a long time ago.
I think it's by the same dude.
Oh, interesting.
But Nacho Libre is literally a poster on my wall. I love the fucking director of it. But I think you probably will have like maybe like one SWAT team probably show up because you said that. But I mean,
have you seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I haven't seen it in a while, but the first time I watched it, I remember I was at like my Nana's house and I was like, oh my God. Like, this is me because he has like curly hair. And I'm like, I have curly hair. So then my whole life I got compared. That's just what happens, dude. That's just what happens when you have fucking curly hair. Everyone like compares you to like 15 like different curly haired people. And my mom used to be like, when my hair would get long, she'd be like, you look like Napoleon Dynamite. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it happens when you're bald too.
Yeah,
all my TikTok mentions are just like, oh, look, it's you. And it's
Sean Evans.
It's a man that looks nothing like me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a curse.
Having amazing hair or no hair, you know, it's just one of those things that you're going to get compared.
Two of the same struggle.
It is.
I would like, that's the one thing I don't miss is like, if you have longer hair, it's a lot to maintain and take care of.
Exactly, dude. That's what I was saying before we started is like, I need to get a haircut because like it's long and it's like I can shake it around long. And when I sleep with this, like long of hair, like it makes my whole fucking head like so warm. And like I like to sleep when I'm cold. So then when I'm trying to sleep and like I'm like tossing and turning, it's just like feeling this like big like clump of hair. And I'm like, I can't fucking sleep with this. So when I go back to Kentucky, I'm going to have like a salon appointment. Because I go to a salon to get my luscious locks cut.
As you should.
Mm-hmm. Don't go to fucking Crate Clips or Sports Clips. Go to a salon. I don't fucking care who you are. Like, go.
I go to this like, whenever I'm in Brighton, I go to this like fancy barbershop where they if you want, they'll give you like a free shot of whiskey, like a glass of whiskey.
That's awesome.
It's like a pretty bougie place, but I enjoy it because every time I go there, I get like I choose a different barber and I have a little conversation with them. And it always loops back to like, so what do you do? And I'm like, you know.
Do you ever just lie?
I'm like getting close to the point where like I'd rather just lie every time. Like I just can't go through the routine anymore.
It is. I don't like it. I have told people so many times I'm an editor for somebody. I've said I'm an editor for Mr. Beast. I've said that I'm an editor for our friends. Like I've said that I'm a part of Sin and Drowning. I've said like 15 different things. Like I literally just like I will just lie and be like, yeah, I edit for like Sin and Drowning. You know, I do like most of their videos and stuff. Just because I don't want them looking up my fucking channel. Like that's what they always want to do is look up my own channel. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, my last landlord was like, yeah, man, I looked up some of your stuff. Well, like, wow, you get a lot of views.
That's that's true. They never talk about your content. They just always talk about your views when they look it up. Like I remember my mom fucking randomly brought it up to my doctor because she loves fucking parading around the fact that like I do YouTube or like I did YouTube, and she'd be like, "This is his channel." And then I remember like I went outside to go like get on the scale thing, and the doctor's like, "I just looked up some of your videos. You got a lot of views on your channel." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like that just happened like 3 minutes ago, dude. You can't just tell me now. You're gonna like feel my balls in a second."
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, it's one of those things like they're fucking cupping your balls, feeling your testicles, and they're like, so, I mean, I like that. I like that Justin Bieber video. That was cool.
So like, what's your upload schedule? And cough. And like, I don't know when I'm gonna upload again.
Is it like unethical from like if I'm at a barber shop and the man's like, "What do you do?" And is it unethical if not only do I lie, but I make up like a whole fake like lore where I'm like, yeah, I went to med school and I'm a doctor.
No, dude, I'm not joking. Genuinely, in those scenarios where like I'm gonna talk to this fucking person and it's gonna be like a one-time thing, I'm never gonna see them again. It's better for you to lie because you're both gonna have a more fun experience and like be like, yeah, I do like YouTube, and then it's like they would probably have fun, but you won't have as much fun as like being like, yeah, you know, I'm like a crypto guy. It's like lying about like I like trade cryptos a lot and like doing all this shit and it's like completely lying to them because then they're like, oh, I'm hooked. But like it doesn't matter to them. They're not gonna go home and be like, I want to fucking buy $15 million worth of Doge. It's just like I'm having fun, you're having fun.
Manipulate.
It'd be crazy.
You manipulate them into buying like a shit coin and losing all their money. That would definitely probably veer into that'll veer into like the unethical range probably a little bit.
Yeah, I would just say like
it's
whatever.
fun to scam people.
Yeah, you could scam them out a little bit. Be like, here's my Bitcoin address. Send me some Bitcoin. Definitely could happen. But I always lie.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the only time where like I will say was when I flew to Austin from LA and I was sitting next to that dude and we just like kind of talked about life and I didn't really specify what I did. I just said I was self-employed and like I wasn't planning on telling him, but then when we were waiting for our bags at the conveyor belt, someone came up to me and was like, "Hey, you're Aksel. Can I get a picture with you?" And he looked at me and he was like, "What the fuck?" and then when we exchanged Instagrams, he was like, "Yo, type in your Instagram, man. Let's follow each other." And I was really down because I love this guy. I still follow him. I see his stories. I'm like, he's such a cool dude. I haven't talked to him since then, but like he's really cool. I wish we hung out more in Austin, or at all. We didn't hang out at all. But like I remember like him pulling up my Instagram and he was just like he didn't say anything about it, but I could tell that he was just really confused. Like he was just like, I don't know. But I miss him. If you're listening, you're probably not, but I love you.
You should DM him right now and be like, dude, I'm gonna be in Austin soon. Can I crash at your place? and see what he says.
It was completely random because he doesn't even live in Austin. He lives in Oakland. But he was going to Austin for like a month to like hang out with a friend. And that's why I was like, I really did want to hang out with him. But like, man, I was just like, I was going through like a manic episode, man. I couldn't get a hold of anything going on in my life. Like I had like so many people I wanted to hang out with in Austin. And then the time just like flew by. So
I know. It's crazy.
Just like that. I was in America for 3 months and it just like went by in the blink of an eye.
That is actually insane. It did not feel like that long. Like it felt like a long time, but like 3 months is crazy.
Yeah, it was just like, it's kind of weird. Like I remember when I went, honestly, from the day that I went, in the back of my mind, I was just dreading the fact like, oh, I'm going to have to go home at some point. Like at some point.
Yeah.
Like, even though I know right now it seems, like close to 3 months, it seems like a very long time, but I know it's not going to be. It's not going to be long at all.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's what it ended up being. It was just like, I was in LA for a month. That didn't feel like a month at all. It felt like fucking 4 days. Mm-hmm. But like somehow I did so much. And also there was like a good week where I did nothing except just like sit on Matt Watson's couch.
Which is honestly like, that's the life to live. Like I loved my time sleeping on the Matt Watson couch because I'm not even over exaggerating when I say this. Genuinely, I've slept in like some hotels and like some Airbnbs. The sleep I got on Matt Watson's couch was like unmatched compared to like some other shit because he had like the AC blowing in my face and like this comfortable ass fucking blanket and like the couch was so cozy.
Yeah, it's just a very cozy place in general. Mm-hmm. Like,
and Matt's so cozy in general. So he was like, "Hey, can I get you any water?" And I was like, "I feel like I'm like living like a 5-star resort right now. Like this is crazy."
Exactly. Yeah. And then Austin was like, I guess like a month and a half. I remember like the lake house felt like such a distant prospect where I was like, oh, we're gonna go to the lake house at some point. That's crazy. And then
it happened.
We went. Yeah.
That's actually insane. Like that's like the biggest thing that I feel like is almost not in a way like kind of talked about. Is like if we actually do something, like that's crazy. Because usually we have like so many ideas. We're like, yo, we should do this. Yo, like we should do that. But like the fact that we actually like went to a lake house thanks to Jake, like that was fucking insane.
And it was like a way out too. Like it wasn't like it was like a nice like an hour and a half long drive.
It was a nice drive and it was a nice place.
It was very fun. I'm very glad we did that because that's like something that will be embedded in our brains probably. Like because I think me and Jake talked about where like realistically speaking, all of those people that were at the lake house, like I don't know if that group of people will ever just be together again, just because of like it's hard to get that many people in the same place.
Yeah, especially with step papas. Like having step papas, like that was actually like an insane thing that like was said off cuff and it actually ended up happening. Like that is actually insane.
I remember the night when we found out that she's gonna come to the lake house, and like I don't think any of us really believed that. We're like, that's so like random, like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, I literally thought like, okay, like this is a good thought, but like let's be real, like this probably won't happen. And then she was like, yeah, I bought my plane tickets. And then I remember Jake FaceTiming her and be like, hey, like what's up? And then we were all like in the living room, like just sitting behind, like watching Jake FaceTime her and be like, yeah, like I can't wait to see you at the lake house. She's like, yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun. And we're like, what the fuck? Like this is actually happening. Like this is actually gonna happen. We're gonna meet Step Papas and we're all gonna be at the lake house. Like it was crazy.
Oh god, that was like when I think about all of it, I'm just like I need like a couple years to process honestly all of it. Like I need like I need to like think back at it in like 3 years, and then I'll be able to fully understand everything about the lake house.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I felt bad for Trevor. I feel like 1/3 of his experience during the lake house was him like looking around for objects. Like literally 1/3 of his time was just spent looking for like shit that he lost and like being stressed out, and I felt so bad for him.
Trevor probably throughout all of the weekend probably had like 4 hours that were like genuinely enjoyable for him.
He could sit down and like not think of anything, because then he also had to go back and edit. Like I remember I forgot about until like literally just now. He like drive back like an hour 30 to go edit, and then he drove back, and then he was like missing shit, and he was like stressed out, and I felt so bad. But
what a beautiful person Trevor is. He genuinely is just a man that I look at and I'm like, I don't have a single not a single bad word to say about him. He's adorable. Like he's just so like sweet.
He's a heart of gold.
He does. God.
Well done,
I love people like that in general, where it's just like, I don't know, genuine like compliments and like genuine like just a kind of uplifting energy. You know what I mean? Like try being depressed around Trevor. It's just not going to happen.
It's not. He's going to buy you Domino's pizza and you're going to play some Jackbox.
No,
that's a German Cube experience, and I love it.
Oh, see, that's like, I'm like trying to emulate people like that in my life. When I see, I look at people that I love and I think, why do I love this person? And what can I adopt from this person to myself so that other people love me? And Trevor's definitely one of those people where I look at him and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's like so much to love about him. Same with like James Marriott and like, yeah, they're kind of like the same font of person, I think.
They honestly, like in a way, like I never thought about it like that, but like they kind of are like the same font of a person. James is British and Trevor is American.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We gotta introduce them, bring them together somehow.
They need to like start a podcast together. Modest Marriott.
We should actually. I was talking to Prezzo and JHB about this because when they were on this pod, they had never talked to each other, and I didn't realize that wasn't like a purposeful thing. But I kind of love the idea that maybe we bring on like two guests that don't really know each other, and we like, make that a dynamic.
I had an idea for like I wanted to do like a video series of like, I wanted to call it like like teacher assigned groups or some shit. And I would get like completely random people and just like have them like do a video and just like be like, oh yeah, like here's Hamza, and then here's Steph Papas, and then here is like Jack Harlow's like a fucking photographer. like Urban Wyatt, and then when they all like do a video together, and I'm like, what the fuck is this group of people? You'd never see them in a million years. But
that's
then
a good idea.
They're all together, and it's because teacher assigned groups. But I think we need to do that. We need to set up James Murray with Modest Cube. Trevor.
The problem is just like the time zones, you know. That's like the fucking
true
UK versus US shit. But we'll figure something out. We'll do some cool combo of people probably.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, thank you guys for listening to us. As always, 5 stars, like the video, comment. Yolkgang.net for awesome merchandise that is in limited quantity.
Mm-hmm.
So go rush over there. If you buy it, it supports the show, means the world. Any last words?
Guys, comment a random duo you would like to see on the podcast.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah, comment a random 2 unrelated people.
Hooverr Oomfies.
Yeah, like Oomfies particularly, because I don't want you guys typing in like, Socrates and Maddie Healy. Like, no, dude, that's not gonna.
Michael
that's not gonna happen.
Cera and Emma Langevin. We could get one of those people. We could get Emma Langevin.
Yeah,
but I don't know about Michael Cera. You know,
he's a little booked, I guess.
He is. But
anyways, thank you for listening, guys.
See you all next week. Bye bye.